warm enough. It's a little chilly, but that's the way it is. Okay, do you all know who this guy is?
Winnie the Pooh.
Well, if he came here, he would be a very happy bear because we have lots of honey here. So, if he was here, hold on a second. Usually we have somebody else here to help do this. So if he was here, he'd be eating away. Oh, this honey is so good. I just love it here. But there is some danger, isn't there? What's flying around?
Bees.
Okay, well, you think that bee likes Woody?
No.
Oh, no, not him. I'll get him. Ah! So he thinks maybe he'll try it again. He'll go over here. Maybe the bee won't see him. But guess what happens? Ah! So Woody runs away. He goes back to his tree, and he's okay. But what about the bee that stung him? What happens to the bee?
He died.
Anytime a bee stings and dies, its stinger is part of its tummy. It leaves its stinger in you, and the bee is ripped apart. So what that tells you guys is that bees don't want to sting you. They only sting if they think you're taking away their food or if you scare them. So if a bee is flying around you, should you start going like this?
No.
No, because you're going to scare the bee. So it's better just to stand still or walk away slowly. Okay, we have 4 beehives here. If we didn't have our beehives, you think you would have found any pumpkins?
No.
There would be no pumpkins, and there would be no apples on the trees. If there were no bees in the world, there would be no fruit except for bananas, no vegetables, and not much meat because there would be no alfalfa or clover for the cattle. So we would be pretty hungry if there weren't any bees. So it's kind of serious that bees are dying so much. Okay, this is what it looks like inside a beehive.
But don't other animals and things make pollen too?
Some do, yeah. This is a frame of honeycomb. I'm going to walk around with it so you can see it, but please don't touch it because it's pretty soft. The bees made this out of wax. These are the rooms in their house. What I want you to notice is what a wonderful job the bees did. They didn't have any rulers, did they?
No.
But they made every room exactly the same size and shape. I think that's pretty smart. That's something we couldn't do, could we? We'd have to have our rulers. The bees put honey in these rooms, or the baby bees grow up in them, and the adult bees go into sleep. What the bees do is they crawl down inside the flowers. They take a sweet syrup of nectar back to their hive and turn it into honey. But there's also a yellow powder called pollen. The bees take it from one flower and put it in another, and then that flower can turn into what it's supposed to be. Otherwise, the flower just dies. So that's why we have to have bees. They're more important than any other workers on our farm. All right, every beehive has 3 different kinds of bees. Who is the most important bee in a beehive? There's only one.
The
Yes?
queen.
Okay, that's because she's the mother of all the bees in the hive. In the summer, there can be 50,000 bees in a beehive. They're all her kids. There's also worker bees. They only live 6 weeks because they work so hard. They have to get the food. They have to take care of the babies. And some of them are guards. They stand just inside the entrance looking out. They're the ones that come out and stay. Do you think worker bees are boys or girls? What do you think?
Girls.
What do you think? Okay. They shove all those boys out of the hive. Now the boys never had to learn how to do anything. They can't even feed themselves. So they just look around, then lie down and die. So that's the breaks, guys. Aren't you glad you're not a bee? All right, when I work on the bees, I wear this white outfit. Bees like white. I zip my veil shut and I wear these long gloves. You can see how high they come up. And I also use a smoker. I put something in that will make a thick smoke and puff it into the hive, and the bees calm down. This is fine as long as I do everything. One time I didn't zip my veil. That was a real mistake because I couldn't hardly see for a few days. And one time I decided it was too much trouble to wear boots. So then I couldn't walk for a few days. The bees are going to sting me because they don't want anybody fooling with their hive. I may be trying to help them, but they don't see it that way. All right, does anyone have any questions about bees?
How do you insulate in the winter their beehive?
Well, they cluster together, and they can keep the temperature high enough. As a matter of fact, in February, when the queen starts laying eggs again, they keep it 90 degrees in there, no matter how cold it is outside. But they just flap their wings to produce heat. So, in the Northeast, they used to put black tar paper over the hives, but then the hive got too hot, and the bees would think it was spring, and they would come out and freeze. So that's not done anymore. Any other questions? Nope. All right. Can one of the adults put hand sanitizer in the kids' hands? Oh, we have a guy. He wants to be useful.
Yeah.
He doesn't want
I don't want to get kicked out of the hive and winter.
Okay, there's water for the kids. I've got more cups because I probably don't have enough. If an adult wants to pass water around, then we're going to give you a snack of apple butter.
Oh no! These things are freezing.
Snacks.
Water? Want water. Water?
Cold water.
Just feel like this will dry.
I have gloves. No, it's really cold. That's not cold.
Hey, it's fresh water.
Cold.
Fresh water.
Like it's cold. It's not too cold, but it's like warmish cold. Warm. Where do you put this? In the trash. Where's the trash? There is no trash. Are you videoing us?
I am. This is for our history museum.
All right, you should have enough to do those two.
Well.
Apple butter.
What is it? Honey crackers. Is that honey crackers? There we go. I can have it.
Oh,
Now, if the adults want to try the apple butter, there should be plenty.
Do you guys need napkins or
Otherwise, I have more.
Where do we put this?
take your trash?
What did you want? Just apple butter, no
I
crackers?
have like cookies.
Well, how do you do it?
Is it good? I want another.
You tried it?
I want another. Huh? No, I'm only wanting 3. Let's live here. I already ate mine. It tastes like.
Did you have enough?
This is like as big as a napkin.
Yeah, everybody got one, I think. Does anyone have trash, Stevie?
No, I should make. Mommy, why is this coming off your post?
Yeah, here, so I'll turn
Just
this
leave.
around.
What, honey?
I'm done.
Yeah, this is.
There's still some left if anybody wants a second.
Like everyone comes.
Come here, Lisa.
All right.
Mommy, just kidding. I want another one. Do you want more? No.
Just give her apple butter.
Oh my god. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I just gave the extra.
Here, Lisa.
How was the word?